Hey, good afternoon. This is Dennis. This is the Sales Drive Home. So today was Thursday. So today we are going to talk about a couple of things. You know, Thursday is usually used car day for me. It is used car day. It was used car day. You know, it seems like some of the books, some of MMR is kind of coming back to some kind of normalization. MMR is still stupid. I mean, I know a couple of weeks ago, everything that you looked at, MMR was just crazy stupid. But seems like maybe it's leveling off. I don't know. Who knows? I was moving around my library and Zig Ziglar's book was there. And you know, I got to looking at that thing, and yeah, I'm kind of old, right? So Zig Ziglar, to me, the sales trainer, you know, he was one of the guys. He was like one of the pioneers, right? He was one of the training pioneers. I mean, just for a while, a long time ago, you couldn't do anything without talking about Zig Ziglar and what he was saying. And so I came across this book, and I was moving stuff, and I came across it, and I looked at it. You know, it's 400 pages. So 400 pages, right? And you start flipping through it, and it's 400 pages of solid words. It's not like big words, big pictures. It's like tiny words. The man Zig Ziglar wrote some stuff, and you know, you go through it, and you still have to honor some of the techniques and some of the ideas in those books, and some of them, yeah, a little, but it's dated, ain't no doubt about it. But god dang, my man Zig, man, he had some freaking knowledge, and he wrote it all down, and he made you pay. I mean, I actually saw him a couple of times, and he made you pay. And he made you pay for the books. But dang, he had a lot of stuff in there. I mean, just all kinds of stuff. You know, you go through and you look at like the closes that he's got and everything else, and you wonder, some of that stuff, you just wonder, does it still work? I mean, because he drills down in that thing, man. Just, you know, I want to think about it close. Is like 3 pages of good stuff. Like, and some of it you have to agree with, and some of it you have to say, yes, that still works. Because if somebody says they're going to think about it, the first thing that was in the book that he talks about is, are they really going to think about it? Is that something that's really going to happen? They're sitting on your showroom floor right now. There, you go over numbers, you present numbers, you're there, you're talking about it, you've gone on a test drive, you've benefit, features, everything else, and are they really going to think about it once they leave? Or are they just not? And I guess some of that depends on, you know, the customer and where they are in their process, and the urgency of their purchase decision, and how many times we still hear it. We think, oh, that's old school. That 400 pages of print this small, you know, my man Zig, that's past. He's past tense. And some of that stuff, you know, you got to respect. You got to say, listen, some of that stuff is still working. So anyway, some of that stuff, you know, you got to think, okay, I got to respect some of this stuff that he's saying, because you know it works. Even though it's, I don't know, what was that, 40 years ago, 30 years ago? Let's say it's 30 years old. Some of that, you got to respect it. Zig Ziglar, OG. But, you know, I'll think about it close. And so the question that Zig is asked right away is, you know, in the book is, are they really going to think about it? And then he asks a question. He says, well, you know, how many times have you told a salesman that you were going to think about something? And how many times did you actually think about it? Never. hardly ever. To say, whoa, man, I don't know, can I do that? Well, you know what? I think you can. And I think maybe we should. I think maybe we should go back to some of that hardcore technique of selling. Because if somebody wants to think about it, you need to isolate what they want to think about, right? How many of your salespeople know that? Seriously, how many of your salespeople have ever even picked up a sales book, a sales training book, a motivation book? Your good ones might have. Your new ones haven't. Not unless you've made them. And quite frankly, the sales managers that we've got in stores right now, general managers that we've got in stores right now, how many of them know some of those techniques? Not give it up to some, but you know what happens is that more and more, and especially with events and how they change, man, we lose people. We get people that are really, really good, and they do something else. They go away. So the people that have the techniques, the people that are just old school, some of that still works. I mean, I want to think about it. That's great. I understand. This is a huge decision. You know, this is a big decision for you. This is an important decision for you. And I understand. You need some time to think about it. But just so that I'm clear, let's make sure that I understand what you're thinking about. And then it's just like every other objection. It's isolating that objection. It's saying, okay, I want to make sure that I know what you're thinking about, but you gotta isolate the objection. No, I understand, Mr. Customer. You gotta think about it, and it's an important decision for you, and I want you to be sure about the decision, just so that I understand in my own mind, what is it exactly that you want to think about? I mean, is it something that maybe I've done or said, or you've got questions about what I'm telling you? Oh no, man, you're great. Everything that you've given us, all the information. Yeah, no, we're good there. Okay. Well, is it the vehicle? Is it the product that I'm showing you? Did I miss something? I mean, did we not show you something that had the right equipment? What is it? The vehicle? Oh no, that's the perfect truck for us, man. We love that truck. Okay. Well, I mean, if it's not the vehicle, and it's not anything that I've done, I mean, then what is it? Well, you know, Dennis, it's really that I just don't know about that payment. You know, it seems a little bit high. Okay, so now I've got a better understanding. So just so that I understand, you're good with me, good with the vehicle that we showed you, you love the truck. And so really what you want to think about is will this fit in your budget? And I understand that. But the whole purpose of this monologue here is to isolate the objection. Because otherwise, we're just shooting at you know, oh, well, you got to think about it. Well, what do you got to think about? Oh, you know, we just got to put some things together. Oh, okay, well, we'll see you later. And then they don't think about it, or they go somewhere else. And quite frankly, these days, it's not about them going home and not doing anything. What it's really about is they don't go home and not do anything. They go to another dealership and buy. And it might have been you. It might have been the vehicle that you showed them, but probably it was the way that we presented the pricing or the payments. They didn't understand the benefit that they were getting. That's why that feature benefit selling process, going through everything and making sure that when we wrap up this whole process, that they understand the value that they're getting. Because really one of the things that Zig talked about in the book is, you know, we don't sell products. That's not why customers buy from us. Customers buy from us because of the future benefits that they're going to get from that product. And you know, out of that whole 400 pages, that one little sentence is crystallized in my head. Customers don't buy products. They buy what those products are going to do for them in the future. And so when you're selling and you're showing vehicles or you're showing your product and you come to a point, you've got to paint that picture of them enjoying that product in the future. One of the other things I came across in that book, and I didn't mean to spend the whole drive home talking about Zig Ziglar's book, but I hadn't picked it up in a while, and it's 400 pages. There's a lot of stuff in there. But one of the things that that we talked about, I got a merge problem here. Hold on, folks, I got a merge problem. Okay. One of the things that he talks about in that book is, you've got to sell that future benefit. You've got to understand that this customer needs what you're selling. If you don't believe in your product, then go find a different product, so that when a customer does not buy from you, you feel bad for them, because they should have bought, because your product is the best product and you presented it the best way possible. You gave them the best value possible. And remember, it's value, not about price. There may be more, there's more to value than just the price. I mean, if you give them a vehicle or a product that fills all of their needs, what's the price on that? Well, the price on that is not what the price is today. The price is what the future value is of the benefits that they're going to get. You got to sell the benefits. And so if you've done that and they don't purchase from you, then you need to feel bad that they didn't take advantage of this deal that you got them. So anyway, shout out to Zig Ziglar. I didn't mean to talk about it the whole drive home, but man, if you haven't cracked open one of those books, and it's tough, man, I'm telling you, 400 pages, and some of it's super old school, and some of it you're just like, I don't know. But I gotta tell you, if you spend some time in there, you're gonna find something. You're gonna find something that you're gonna be able to use. And it doesn't matter if it's Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, but somebody that laid it out step by step. I mean, just laid it out. Here's the process, here's the objection, here's what you should say. And when you read it, what you find is that you're like, you may not think about it all the time, but sometimes you'll be with a customer and you'll be like, oh, I know what I need to say here to make them start enjoying this product, because that's the idea. Getting customers to start enjoying what they already want. They want it. They're in your showroom, they're on your website, they want it. They just need somebody to be able to explain to them the value that you're presenting. So anyway, a little Zig Ziglar flashback moment. Sorry about that. Didn't get to a couple of other things. But you know what? That's cool. That's what we do, man. We just drive home and talk. Thanks for joining me. This is Dennis from the Sales Drive Home. Email me at dennis@thesalesdrive.com. Got a couple of people that have emailed me a couple of things, and we've talked about a couple of them. I appreciate it. But seriously, if you've got a concern, you got a question, if you've got a suggestion, whatever, send me an email. dennis@thesalesdrive.com. And I am out of here. Peace.